My name is Cam.
And I'm RevKev.
And you're watching The Geek Gap. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a Marvel Phase 4 ranking. Now that Wakanda Forever has been officially released, and we've seen nearly every single property now from Marvel Phase 4, we've decided now would be the perfect time to give it our honest and truthful, maybe a little bit bumping heads ranking of Marvel Phase 4.
And before we jump into it, man, we would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, turn on that little notification bell so that you can get all the videos here that we're putting out on this YouTube channel, where we've got a Gen Xer and a Gen Z trying to get along, talking about pop culture and all the things that we love in geek culture.
Let's get into it. Our rating system that we're going by, the top of the list is going to go by amazing, followed by great, followed by good, followed by okay, bad, and then there's a couple TBAs that maybe both of us haven't seen yet at this point. All right, so the first Marvel property that we're going to be talking about for today with the Marvel Phase 4 tier list and ranking is WandaVision. And I think it was the first Disney Plus show, period, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, for the MCU. Yeah.
WandaVision. How are you feeling on it?
So, it took me a while, to be honest. It was like about 4 or 5 episodes in. I was like, okay, they seriously need to do something because
it was a slow burner.
It was a slow start, and I almost gave up on it, but I'm glad I didn't because I really enjoyed it by the end.
By the end?
Yeah. Agatha was okay. Again, she was
okay.
It was like, oh, a twist, but I was really hoping she was going to be Mephisto.
Sure. That was the big,
that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But, is what it is. But I liked it. I liked the white Vision, when they kind of redid Vision and all that. So I love that. So yeah, by the end of the show, I was into it.
So me personally, I'm not as keen on it.
Yeah.
Again, as we both agreed, it was a little bit of a slow burner to get into at the start because it was just kind of spending a lot of time playing with the idea of like a comedy,
which was a fun idea.
It was fun in idea, but
dragged
out. Yeah, I do feel the same.
Could have done that in 2 episodes.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. And overall, it's not one that I have really felt a need to go back to.
Right.
I mean, further projects along kind of deal more with the Wanda character, and WandaVision just didn't do it as much for me. But that being said, where are you feeling?
So for me, it was good.
The list. You're feeling it was good?
For me, it was good.
See, I'd be leaning more towards like the okay, but
I can go there.
You can go okay?
I can go okay.
Okay, well, we'll go okay with it, and, never know. Okay. Maybe after going back to it more in the future, you never know, that could always get bumped up. And Wanda fans, because I know there's a lot of you, please don't kill us in the comments.
Don't show any hate.
Please, I beg.
We're all about love here on the channel.
We're all about love. Wanda's great. Wanda's great, guys, I promise. Next property that we're going to get into, or next show, is Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Now here, this is what's funny about this one. It's the exact opposite of WandaVision.
Loved
it at the beginning.
Yes.
And then by the end, I was tuning out of it.
Sure.
Because the bad guys in that one, while they were interesting at the beginning, then I just lost complete interest in the bad guy.
Yeah.
And a hero, for me, is only as good as the villain.
Sure.
Right? You need a good villain to make the heroes really rise up. And for me, the villains fell really flat in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it just felt it started becoming a little bit too preachy by the end of it, for my taste.
That's something I can agree with. I mean, I'd love to give this show the benefit of the doubt, because I know there was a big last-minute change in direction once the pandemic started becoming such a big issue.
Yep.
But that being said, I can't be rating this on the possibility of what this show could have been.
You got to rate it on what it was.
Exactly. Now, if they come out with a season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, it might be one of my most anticipated shows still, because those characters, I think, are very good.
The dynamic was amazing.
Yes.
Between Falcon and Winter Soldier,
and
or Captain America and Winter Soldier. I thought they were great.
It gave it its heart.
It was a good buddy cop film.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a good 80s buddy. And again, this is the thing about our generation gap, right? I like those 80s movies.
Sure.
So yeah, I really liked it for that. So for me, I liked it better than WandaVision.
You did like it better than WandaVision?
It did.
Okay. See, those two are both very, same realm.
Yep.
I'd be okay going, okay or good with it.
We gotta go
I can be
good.
swayed to good.
We gotta go.
You want to go good?
Yeah, I went. I
You
caved into
yeah,
on
you
the
caved
first one,
into
you
me.
caved into me
Okay,
on the
that's
second one.
fine. We'll
we
go
go.
good with it. We'll go good with it. Next up, you win this time. The next show we're gonna be looking at is Loki season 1. No.
I hated Loki.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is gonna be the first one where we're really gonna bash heads, because before we get into it, where were you thinking on the rating?
For Loki?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bad.
See, I would have
wasted
went.
opportunity. Hashtag missed opportunity.
I would have literally put it in the top of good.
Really? Wow.
I think
Tom. Oh my goodness.
Tom
Hiddleston is so amazing in the role. Owen Wilson is such a great actor, and I was just like,
it was great. It was solid. I mean, there was that middle part where the show kind of dipped a little bit for me. And one thing about this whole Disney show formula that I haven't been behind is the whole, like, let's wait to reveal the villain at the very last second.
Exactly, so slow.
But there was so much going on in terms of, like, creative storytelling in that one.
And the whole Loki falling in love with his alternate reality self. I was just
made perfect sense for the Loki character. That made perfect sense. It's literally, he has such a strong ego.
I know, but
that he literally gave into his
psychotic.
He's a psychotic character. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so
we're gonna have to come to a compromise.
We're gonna
on
have
this
to meet
one.
in the middle on this one. So,
but
where do you think it should go?
Like I said, it should be the top of good, but like.
I'll put it in good for your sake, but I'm going to expect you to bend and...
Well, should it be the bottom of good or the top of okay?
We'll go the bottom of good.
Okay, we're going to put Loki in good. Guys,
move along.
Back me up in the comments. I mean, that was a good season. We're getting into an animated show that is technically a part of Marvel Phase 4.
Yes.
What If Season 1. And I think this is something that we can both agree on.
Yes.
This show
amazing.
Heart. It had heart to it. That Doctor Strange What If episode was probably one of the best things I had seen in the entirety of Phase 4.
The Marvel Zombies was great. I even liked the Captain Carter episode.
Captain Carter.
Like, I loved
Chadwick Boseman giving his performance again as T'Challa. That was for a final time. Yeah. It's just all around.
The only one I didn't like so much is how they just kind of Vision just kind of quickly wiped out Thanos. It was just kind of like, dude, like if it was that easy, why didn't you do that?
It's What If though.
I know, but What If, right? Amazing. Like for
Yeah.
me, What If was probably the best thing that came out of Phase 4, in my opinion.
You know what? I'm going back. We're gonna have to rewatch
that
it.
One, that's so rewatchable, and the art style was beautiful. Like I love
incredibly. So super tasteful. I'm so excited for season 2. Waiting for that to get its official release date.
Yeah.
I'm saying amazing on it.
There we go. Amazing.
We're gonna put it right up to the amazing category.
There you go.
Next up, we have Marvel's Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
What are you feeling on Moon Knight?
Probably very similar to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Loved it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Loved it. And
First episode was like, I have no idea what's going on,
Oscar
but this
Isaac
universe
was
is just
amazing.
Yeah.
In that, like this, the split personality thing going on, and waking up and blacking out. Like, loved it. I loved the cinematography of it, the editing of it, the pacing of it. And then again, by the end, it just went weird. The villain, I lost interest in the villain.
Yeah.
He was great at the beginning, and then I lost interest in him.
And that last fight scene that it was all building towards just ended up being like,
it petered
guy falls
out.
asleep and it's gone.
So it just kind of fell flat at the end. So
it didn't have that climax I think it deserved.
So for me, it was a high good.
High good?
Because it was only really in the last couple of episodes I felt it started to peter out. So
see, me personally, this is going to be a hot take because I know a lot of people do really like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was a little bit better.
Okay. I'm cool
You're
with
fine?
that.
You're fine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
So we'll put that in good. It was like...
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I think a lot of people give these shows in general just kind of like bad rep, but there's really good parts about a lot of these shows.
It really was.
Next, we're getting into Hawkeye, which, if I'm being honest, I didn't finish it.
Hawkeye was bad.
Did you finish it?
I did.
You did finish it all the way through?
Yeah. I pushed myself through to finish it.
Yeah.
And again, great. And this is what stinks about the cinematic universe in Phase 4 is so much potential.
It's
right?
true. Yeah.
Amazing actors, amazing opportunities, some great storylines, and just the execution again and again and again just kept falling flat. The whole boring, really good at the end, or really good at the beginning, and then turning, like, they just couldn't keep a consistent pace in any of these shows.
Yeah, so there is truth to that.
We can't rate it on what it could have been, but for me, Hawkeye was bad. It was
bad.
Yeah. Like, again, like, even like with the Kate.
Yeah.
I want to say Kate Winslet because of Titanic.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop, thank you. I love Titanic. But yeah, was great, and I liked her, and then lost interest in her about halfway through. Hawkeye, wasted opportunity because he's so good.
Now, I can't speak on it entirely because, again, I didn't.
So just the fact that you
saw it halfway through
it.
and I couldn't finish it. You know what? That's enough. I was gonna put it in the to be decided category and come back to it later. But the fact that you did finish it in its entirety, I'll give it to you. We'll put it in the bad category. Next, we're gonna get into another show that this one I don't think either of us finished.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. So, and here's what's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't not finish it because I wasn't enjoying it. Sure. I didn't finish it because I was waiting around for you and your sister to watch it with me. And you guys live busier lives than I do. And so I just never got back into it because I was waiting for other people to watch it with me.
I definitely want to go and watch this show at some point.
Because I liked it.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
Again, I love the style of it, the look and feel of it. Like, they did some new stuff that was very creative.
Yeah.
Because she was a nerd, right? Like a total nerd into comics, and she was always doodling, and the way they integrated her doodles into kind of the montage and the narration, I loved it. So I loved the look of it. I loved the feel of it. I thought the young actress, I don't know her name, my apologies, but I thought she did great as the character. And I don't know anything about the character. I've never read Miss Marvel. Like, ever. So I was into it. I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know, it was lower stake kind of thing. It wasn't this big world-changing kind of story. But I was kind of like waiting for other people to watch it with me. So
I feel like a reason I never really gave it a chance is because after everything that was coming out, I did feel like this phase, there was a little bit of a sense of a phase 4 fatigue.
Yeah.
Because there was so much more. Everything included in phase 4, the amount of hours with all these shows and everything, is more content than there is in phase 1, 2, and 3 combined.
Really?
That is
I never thought of it
a fact. Like that. There is more content in phase 4 than the first 3 phases combined.
Because you got Disney Plus now, right?
Exactly.
So Disney
Plus 6 hours for one show.
Allowed so much more opportunity to just pump out more content.
Yeah. So for me personally, just because I haven't seen it and neither of us have finished it, it's got to go in the to be decided category. And one day, this gives us the opportunity to go back and
we'll
update
watch
this
it over
video.
the Christmas holidays.
That would be great.
There you go.
So Miss Marvel ranking coming soon. The last show of the kind of Disney Plus show section that we're getting into, She-Hulk. You hulking out over there?
Hulking out.
Hulking out!
Yeah.
What do you feel on She-Hulk?
Hated She-Hulk.
Hated? It's a very strong...
It's a strong... And I know... And this is where people go, well, it's because you're a Gen Xer, you're a hater. I am not a hater. I'm all about grace and second chances and love and forgiveness. That's the core of my values. But the way they changed the character of the Hulk... Like, the Hulk being run over by a Jeep. I can't stop a Jeep. Remember what he did in the first Avengers movie with that big giant alien? You know, the big shark alien, and he one punch and he stops that thing? You know, and Jennifer is, like, running over the Hulk in a Jeep. And not even a really cool Jeep. It was lame. The Hulk was lame.
Would that have changed it for you if it was a really cool Jeep? If it was
if it was at least a tank,
a Jeep brand,
like a Hulk busting Jeep, maybe then it's okay. Like she ran over him with a Hulk buster Jeep. Okay, then
I would love Marvel Studios. Please include
that scene.
Please include a Hulk buster Jeep in your next
something
Hulk
that could
property.
actually take up. I hated it. And the acting was bad. The CGI was bad. It had no direction. And here's the thing. The last episode where she stepped out, you know, and went to the offices, Marvel Studio offices, that I liked.
We're completely backwards.
Here's why.
Now.
Because John Byrne, when he revitalized She-Hulk, and I'm a huge John Byrne fan, huge, and I've read everything he's done, you know, in the comics. And so when he broke that third wall with She-Hulk, I loved that. So I was really cool with that.
See, I am so entirely opposite. I was like
Gen Z.
I was enjoying She-Hulk. I thought it was very and you know what? I did think it took a funny kind of stance when it came to what would this character look like in like this Gen Z internet world.
Right.
I thought it was very side questy the entire show, but a part of that had some like innate charm to it.
Yeah.
But when the ending had nothing, and then they decided to just go, because there's nothing, let's do this very weird kind of, let's break the third wall, which I understand the reasoning behind it, but it kind of was just like, it took away from everything that was kind of starting to be built towards.
Yeah. And it had no substance. Like, it wasn't going anywhere. Like,
no, it was very, like,
every episode was basically all about making jokes at men's expense. Like, that for me, the big takeaway, if I was to say what was the big idea of She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, to me, is, and again, I'm not like the biggest fan in the world because it was very side questy. I would say it was the top of the okay category. But if you're feeling,
I can go the top of the okay category. Really? I'd go. Okay, I could go the bottom.
Well, now that I
of
see
okay.
it's WandaVision, I don't know. I could. Okay, well.
Or we'll the top of bad.
We'll settle at the bottom of okay.
Okay, bottom.
Because there was some redeeming qualities. I don't want to give it that treatment.
And it was supposed to be a comedy.
It was.
How often did you laugh?
I laughed a good amount.
Did you? Wow. I didn't laugh once.
Well, it's because it wasn't for you.
Exactly.
It was for me.
We didn't make this for you. I hear that all the time.
We're going to get into the final Disney Plus property now. And I guess they didn't include in this tier list Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That might be considered Phase 5 now, so we'll save that for the next ranking.
Yeah.
We have Werewolf by Night.
Loved it.
That was another one of the best things that came out of this phase. We can agree on that.
Totally amazing.
Yeah.
Style, story, acting, cinematography, like
absolutely.
Music. The man thing.
I know. The man thing. It was...
Oh, he was well done.
I can't give it enough love. I think this is one of the best
things
that
came from
this phase. More like
these one-off, 45 minutes to an hour.
Like Marvel presentations.
Yeah, because these things, like these shows that are 8 to 10 hours, they don't have enough in them.
No.
To do 8 to 10 hours of a character. Like She-Hulk, there wasn't enough to do for 8 to 10 hours.
They could have. 8 to 10 hours. Yeah,
maybe they hired better writers. They could have, but you know what I mean. Like all of them, but this one didn't suffer from that. They could just tell
exactly.
A really good story.
45 minutes. I think the future of Disney Plus is so much more within these short special presentations.
Oh yeah, more.
I'm saying, and I mean, we have nothing in the great category yet, but I want to put this behind What If.
It's amazing. It was amazing.
You want to put it above What If?
No, behind
What If. Yeah. Please, more Werewolf by Night. It was incredible.
Amen.
Now we're going to be getting into the movies. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this portion right here. We're going to be starting with Black Widow. Now, you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Because you guys went without me.
We went without him, and
they ditched me. I had a work meeting that night, so you guys ditched me.
It was bad. So I let him know it was bad, and
that's all I've heard, and so that's why I haven't been motivated to watch it.
We'll have to. Yeah. But just like how we were able to give Hawkeye bad because you've seen it.
Yeah.
I saw Black Widow. It was really bad. Taskmaster, I think, was such a fumble.
And I love Taskmaster.
Taskmaster in the comics is so good. Hopefully they do something good with it, with the Thunderbolts coming up.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it was such a fumble. It was such a rushed movie, and part of that can be accredited to the pandemic. Yeah. Thanks a lot, pandemic. It ruined a whole lot of stuff.
And what's interesting, because the Black Widow character that went over into Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Right? She's in the movie Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff's sister, I think.
Yep. Was she in Hawkeye?
Yeah, she was the best thing of Hawkeye.
I didn't even get that far.
She was the best thing of Hawkeye.
And she was the best thing of Black Widow too.
So she was amazing.
Yeah, what's her name? Florence Pugh, I think.
I have no idea.
Her just in everything that I've seen her in recently, I've been watching a bunch of her stuff, and great actress.
Amazing.
And I think she was partially the saving grace of
and
that
a great
Black Widow
replacement for Scarlett Johansson. Like I actually love how they ended her arc.
I can agree. Yeah.
And so bringing in a new Black Widow, totally awesome.
See, I'm very down for her contribution in the Thunderbolts as well, and I hope Thunderbolts is just kind of taken taking the best of this kind of Black Widow franchise and just amplifying that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
if you want to put it in bad,
we got to put it in bad. I don't know if it's above
bad.
or lower than Hawkeye, but
Yeah.
we're just going to throw it in the bad category, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
We have Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was...
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
And I love, again, I'm an 80s action movie guy.
Yeah.
Right? So I was Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, like
Sure.
Sylvester Stallone. Like I love all that stuff. So to go and do a kung fu movie,
Yeah.
boom,
Right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
Yeah.
So the fight sequences, I was into it. Like Shang-Chi,
100%.
I liked it.
And the acting is good.
The acting was good. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The cultural, seeing different culture and the mythology of that culture
that comes along with that was very good. The villain finally getting the actual Mandarin on screen, like the real Mandarin, was something that was definitely a big payoff that stems all the way back from Iron Man 3.
Exactly.
I would put it in. I'd say great.
I'm okay with great.
I'm okay with great.
Yeah, maybe a low great, but it was
I mean, looking at our list right now, there was some decent stuff in Phase 4.
I guess it was actually better than what it is in my head.
We have a few more titles. Who knows? Okay. Maybe it gets really weighted down with these next few.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
And speaking of weighting down the list, we have Marvel's Eternals.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot about that one.
Ugh.
That was a train wreck.
That is, despite, I'll give you credit, I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of these characters again.
Yeah.
But
for me, the best character
was one of my least favorite.
Yeah, the best character was Angelina Jolie. Her character,
Angelina Jolie's character.
She was my favorite.
I liked Icarus a lot.
And got the less amount of screen time.
She did, and she
was the best because her kind of psychotic episodes and the breakdown. I loved all that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and the ending. So you've got a celestial busting out of the earth.
Really cool in concept.
But do you realize the ecological damage the earth would have gone through just with that?
And they never touch it again.
Like there's basically a ginormous monster hand coming out of the earth and a partial head.
No one's ever spoken about it in any other MCU.
That would have destroyed the planet. Just that act in of itself would have caused massive ecological damage. So it just felt flat. And what was the main Superman ripoff dude? They even made Icarus. They even made a joke about it, how he was basically Superman.
I'm really.
For me, it was bad.
I'll go bad. I mean, I'd even put it below
there isn't
Black Widow, to be honest.
Okay,
I'd put it right at the bottom. That was probably my least favorite.
Which is too bad. Again,
I know.
Great actors, great opportunity, great characters.
Yeah.
Stick to the source material. The reason why these characters have lasted for 60 years is because the creators knew what they were creating. And when they deviate too much from the source material, it's the Eternals in name only, not in character.
Sure. So. Okay. Probably a lot of people's favorite movie in all of Phase 4.
Right.
Some people in all of the MCU period.
Yeah.
We have Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. That was so good. Where do you put that? I'm going to let you go first this one. Where do you put this one?
It's good.
Yeah.
But it's at the top of good.
Yeah, see, I was going to say the low of great.
Really?
Because here's... Yeah, and even top of good, right? How often have you rewatched it since?
I have gone back to it, but you know what I realized upon going back to it?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of emotion is based in the three Spider-Man being together.
Exactly. See,
and
it's not the movie.
Because the villains,
it's the nostalgia of the other Spider-Man.
As much as it's cool to see all the villains back on screen,
the
entire motive was kind of like, well, we're villains, so we're gonna do villainous crap.
But it's see Tobey Maguire suited up again as Spider-Man, to see Andrew Garfield.
And I didn't know you were gonna have that same take, but
because I've tried to rewatch it again, and I couldn't actually watch. I actually fast forward it until where the Spider-Man show.
Okay, I wouldn't do it that dirty, but
but you know what I mean. But when the first time you're seeing it, you're just blown away.
I really like Tom Holland's contribution to that.
He's a great Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong.
Doctor Strange. There's a lot of good in that movie.
Yes.
But I believe a lot of it.
But the initial hype would make you want to put it in amazing.
Yeah.
And then when you actually sit down and think of it, it wasn't an amazing movie.
I would put it at the bottom of great, though, because I think there is,
Sure.
you know, the more I'm talking about it, there is so much about that movie that was so impactful.
Yes.
I can't do it, like, I can't put it on the same level as, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, to be fair.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Below Shang-Chi?
Yes. About the same.
Okay, we'll put it below.
Yeah.
Next, we're getting into one that I might have a little bit of a hot take on.
Yes.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite Phase 4
Right.
films.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really actually hate that movie.
I know, it's weird, eh?
I never understood.
Well, and I get it because it's those of us who enjoy who like to nitpick the movies.
Yeah.
Right? Those of us who like to nitpick the movies. There were so many, and they did try to explain it away. It's like, you know, like just, Wanda, you don't need to kill this girl. Just kind of, keep her alive and, and just use her power because she actually wanted to help her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so let me send you to a universe where Wanda, where the kids have died. And they go, well, we can't do that because what if the kids die in that universe? Well, then give me a call, and then I'll send you to another universe where the kids have, where the mother has died.
That's a little bit evil in thought, but like.
But you know what I mean?
I understand there is.
But America Chavez, like that was her heart to actually help her.
Yeah.
Like and Doctor Strange was actually quite sympathetic to Wanda's.
There has to be a universe where a Wanda had passed away in one of these.
It's a multiverse, right? It's never ending.
And the kids have no mom, and this is the opportunity.
It can't just be one.
I mean, it's still kind of weird. I mean, I'm not trying to like justify the ethical connotations,
right?
but
that's the hate. Is the story falls apart real easily in multiverse because since it's multiverse and you can do anything.
See, but, I agree.
But that's nitpicking.
And I'm not a big nitpick guy, right? Like for what it was, I was thoroughly entertained the entire time.
Yep.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange has slowly over time become one of my favorite characters now in the MCU.
He's amazing.
When at first, his first appearance, Doctor Strange 1, it was like, oh, he's too much like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
The more time that we've had with him, he's come to become one of my absolute favorites.
He's stepped into his own,
To me, this is the top of grade for me.
Okay.
You feel the same way about it?
Sure. Yep. I enjoyed it, and it's
and
it's rewatchable. I've watched it several times.
I agree. I've watched it multiple times.
And Wanda was a great
villain. We haven't even talked about that. That's what I'm talking about. Where when we put WandaVision
is a great bad guy.
When we put WandaVision at the top of her performance only got so much better and stronger, in my opinion, in Doctor Strange.
Scarlet Witch for me has always been a better character as a villain than a hero.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even in the comic books.
I like her contribution in a lot of movies as a hero too.
Sure.
And I think they've been developing a really interesting arc there.
For me, the character is more interesting as a villain.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I thought she did great.
Yeah, amazing.
Great movie.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna get
We're
almost done here. We got two more.
Two more.
And we're getting into one of the most controversial movies, I would say, of this entire phase.
Right.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh. So then here's a funny story about this. So you went to go see it in the theater.
I did.
And didn't like it. I'm just going to summarize.
Terrible.
And because you didn't like it so much, once it was released on Disney Plus, you made me watch it.
I did.
For the sole fact to watch me suffer.
That's literally factual.
That's exactly. That was the only.
I thought it would be funny because I knew he hated Ragnarok, and this just took Ragnarok and like put it on crack, basically. That was
garbage.
And I like Ragnarok, but that movie was horrible. I was watching with my friend, and this was the first ever Marvel movie or anything where I considered leaving the theater.
I know.
And I was heavily considering leaving the theater. Yeah. And what a waste.
Can I go for a root canal instead? Like, it's like...
Gorr, the God Butcher, is such an incredible villain. Christian Bale. And then it's just...
Again, so many missed opportunities. Like,
I know.
And again, in Chris Hemsworth, his Thor character had gone through... which I actually loved his story arc in Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, like, he's a god, right? Like, he's this god of thunder. And then to see him fall from that and then having to be restored, right? Because he failed humanity. And carrying the weight of that was so powerful.
Yeah.
And then you get into Ragnarok, which was garbage already. And then Love and Thunder was just even more garbage. And, and I was cool with, bringing, Natalie Portman as the mighty Thor. I have no issue with any of that stuff.
I thought that part of it was good, actually.
Like, she's a phenomenal actress, right? So again, all these great people in just a badly written, badly executed story. Like,
I'll give it to you. And I'm
like,
personally a big
how
fan.
these actors don't just like rise up and say, guys, we
I'm a
can't
big
do
fan
this.
of Taika Waititi. I think he has a lot of great movies under his belt outside of the MCU.
Okay, sure.
But you only know him for these two movies that you hate.
I won't watch his movies because of it. I have no
There's
interest.
really good stuff.
And I didn't like his episodes in Mandalorian either. His episodes are the weakest episodes in the Mandalorian. So anyways, that's a different video.
I know, well, that's a different video, I guess.
So this movie is bad.
I don't think it's worse than the Eternals. You think it's worse? You think it's the worst?
Okay, maybe a little bit above Eternals just because of Christian Bale.
We got to give it for gore. Got to give it for gore.
I love Angelina Jolie in that movie.
I know.
So
we're gonna get into the final
last one,
film
which I just saw a couple days ago.
Just saw a couple days ago. Wakanda Forever.
It was fine.
I thought it was a little bit.
They could have shaved about 45 minutes out of that movie. It was fine. It was.
See, and I love it for what it
as
is.
A tribute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, and here's the thing, right? Like, and again, I'm a pastor, so I'm all about compassion. I'm all about like helping people deal with grief and all of those kind of things, right? And I walk with people, and I've been in hospitals when people pass away, so I understand that compassion. But is the movie the place to do that? Right? Or should that be done as a special? You could have done something on Disney Plus, like a 3-hour interviewing with actors and the crew, and just to honor his life and his contribution to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There would have been just a much more beautiful way to do that than impacting the character of T'Challa and the Black Panther, right? Because Shuri, like I love her, and I think she's an amazing actress. But she just doesn't carry the weight of the Black Panther to carry the mantle. Like she just doesn't have that presence. Whether it's written the way the character was written, or just
I thought she had some decent
but as
moments
a doctor
to shine,
and as a scientist, like she's amazing.
Yes, I can agree.
So for me, it was a nice movie.
Yeah.
I liked Namor. I thought
Namor was okay. I thought his motivations were a little all over the place at times.
The Aztec part of it I thought was interesting.
I'd be excited to see more of Namor, and I'd be excited to see more of Shuri. I'd be more excited to see more of most of the characters that we saw here.
So for me, it was okay. It was okay.
Now, where would you put it in terms of, I mean, WandaVision and She-Hulk?
Oh, above those.
Above those?
Yeah, and I compromised on She-Hulk, so that was...
Fair. Would you go bottom of good?
Top of good.
Top of good. So you're not feeling
bottom of good, yes.
We have Loki, Moon Knight, and Falcon and Winter Soldier all on top of that.
Bottom of good, yep.
This has been our Marvel Phase 4 rankings.
So there's a lot here, good and lower.
There's a lot of...
We only have 5 things here. If you look at the list, we only have 5 things in amazing and great.
Yeah. And then a whole lot of...
And like you said, there was more content made for this phase than any other phase.
Yeah.
So this, for me, sets up Phase 5. That they have a lot of work to do.
I'm dragging him to every Marvel movie that's coming out, no matter what. We got to get these reviews out. I hope you guys don't have too much to say for us in terms of hate comments with all these controversial opinions, but...
Where do you agree with us?
Where do you agree? Let us know if you
disagree. Yeah. Put it in the comment section below.
Absolutely. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to see more of these tier list videos, let us know. We got more reviews on the way. We got trailer reactions on the way, debate videos. We got a lot of stuff coming forward with this channel, the Geek Gap. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. And
see you back here real soon.
See you back real soon. Take care, everybody.
Peace.